We all know before writing there were pictures, but what most people don't realise is the pictures don't really contain pictures of people, just animals. The closest that there is are spray-painted hands sometimes put over the top of the picture. And although pictures can communicate a view, they cannot communicate an idea, which is where writing came in. Cuneiform was a very, very early language made by pressing a piece of wood into clay. Like many long forgotten languages though, it had to be rediscovered through a translation document. The most famous translation document was the Rosetta Stone. With the Rosetta Stone we were finally able to translate hieroglyphics. While the stone itself just talks about tax, hardly very exciting, it did open up a language that we had previously lost. Some languages that you may think we know really well, such as Latin, actually are a real problem for us. You see, Latin is the dead language, so nobody actually knows how it should sound. In English, the sound ch is made by putting the letters ch together. In Italian, double C together like cappuccino makes the same sound. Without knowing how things sound in Latin, we can't actually pronounce the language even though we can write it. English is one of those languages where writing it is very different to how it sounds. These two words are both exactly the same. They both say the word fish. Don't believe me? Well, the one on the right can be broken down by three English words. GH from cough, the O from women, and the TI from station. F, I, sh. So you may think you can understand English very easily, but actually if we do things pronunciation-wise, things can be very, very different. Written languages are basically just data, raw facts and figures, and don't mean anything by themselves. Ask someone who is illiterate what this actually says on the screen right now. The only way we can transform symbols into something useful is by processing it, i.e. reading it. To do this, you have to know the language. A term often used with computing is information technology. While strictly speaking these are two different things, information technology does describe very nicely what computing does. It converts an input data into information. An input might be a load of numbers, and the output or information might be a graph showing upward trends. The problem that we are facing is that computer technology is changing so rapidly that data from 30 years ago will not be able to be processed by a modern machine. It seems ridiculous that I can read a document that's over 3,500 years old, and yet a file stored on a floppy disk from just a few years ago is completely unreadable.